Okay, Sean. I said I was going to use my buddy Nick Clearwater, but I'm going to use Stuart Appleby. Um, he's just got such a tight swing, and his setup is so good, and he's a model that everybody could could really aspire to be. Just because he doesn't do a lot of crazy stuff in his golf swing, it's pretty much something that most people could do, and he stays so steady, swinging around his spine angle, and that's the big key right here that I want to point out. Um, if you take a line, okay, and draw it at the bottom, way down here at the bottom. Let's do this again. All right, that would be pretty much a zero. Okay, do the same thing over here. I can get it. Okay, anything I draw off of that is going to be based on that zero line. Okay, so for instance, if your shaft in relation to that line, if I drew a line, it's 41.1 degrees. With Stewart, it's 56.9. Quite a big difference. He's just a little more upright than you are. And two, when you get into drawing lines, it's only in two dimensions. So don't, I'm not huge on drawing lines, but for what I want to show you today, it'll work pretty good. The next thing I want to show you is how if I draw a line from Stewart's ear straight down, just kind of matching his spine in there. His spine angle is 41.6 degrees. Okay, yours is 50.7. Some people would want that to be 90 degrees right there, so 41.1 and 41.1. It's not that big a deal. Based on how I want you to set up based on how you're built. If there was anything in the setup, I'd probably like to see you a little more upright. Maybe your hands a little bit higher, your hands almost between your legs. And that's you and Sean. I mean, you and Jonathan. This is y'all show. I just want to point out a couple things that I saw, and if you want to, we can, take a look at this. I'm not trying to hijack Jonathan's program by any means, because what you guys are doing is awesome. So I'm gonna go, and reason I showed the spine angle is because I want you to see how he pretty much rotates on that 41.6 and excuse me, 56.9. No, is that right? No, 41.6 is the spine angle. Make sure we're clear on that. Um, and yours moves. All right, so let's just stop at P2, position 2, and that's where the shaft's parallel to the ground. And you'll see, and this isn't true with everybody, but a lot of the guys try to get that club face parallel to the spine angle. You can see he misses it by what, 13 degrees. Okay, so, but if we look over here at yours, and are checkpoints, but this is pretty extreme. If we look at your club face is, let's see, did we even get a measurement for that? Oops. 56.3. Okay. What's really concerning about that, and we don't even need numbers to figure this out. Look where your club face is pointing. At the very least, it should be the toe should be straight up. Hopefully, maybe a little bit closed, but not that much open, bud. Not that much. So you've got entirely too much left forearm rotation. Um, always look at the back of Stewart's left hand. Okay, it's not perfectly matching the club face, but it's pretty close depending on where you look. But if we look at yours, you got a kind of a strong grip now. I say stronger than it was. But look where it's pointing. Almost identical to where your club face is. Stewart's is probably somewhere in that area. All right. So And already, if we draw a line from your ear back down to where we started on the spine angle there, we can see that you've already moved it. What? Four degrees. Okay. Yeah, because you started at that 50.7. All right, moving on. All right, pretty good P3. And at P3, what we want to see is the shaft pretty close to parallel to where you started with the shaft. That's the initial shaft angle, not plane angle. All right, and you saved the club face. So now your club face is back on plane, but you've done a whole lot of work to get there. Watch how simple this move is. He just keeps turning, okay? And you're going to have to start lifting the arms a little bit to get that club where it needs to be. But both of you at P3 are really good, okay? Your hands are a little bit deeper, meaning they're a little bit more behind you. But they had to be because you were so laid off and inside on the way back. All right, now look how Stewart just takes it right to the top. If I can get. I can't see it here in this video, this particular screen, but Stewart's club face matches his left arm. It's impeccable how perfect that is. All right, take you to the top, and notice his left ear hadn't come off of that line much. That's more me moving the camera because I don't have it on a tripod. But look how far your spine moves back. All right, so I'm gonna draw another line once we get here. Here's the end. 60.2. So it goes from 50.7 to 54 to 60.2. Alright, now the club's across the line. And that's probably because you made work so hard to keep it from being laid off. And now it's really open. Okay, look at your club face now. If your club face, it's at 63.5, and your arm 28.1. They ought to be really close to each other. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take all of these numbers off because you can see how much your spine angle is moving, how much his has not. I mean, just a little bit. And like I said, it's more me moving the camera around. All right, so I'm going to clear all this off. Go back to address on both of you guys. Okay. Draw Stewart's shaft plane where he started. Draw that spine angle again. Do the same over here. I know this is a lot of stuff, so don't get freaked out. All right. And take Stewart to the top. Hopefully. Alright, so I'm going to draw a line from the butt of his grip, intersecting down at the hosel. And that's what I call the slot. Some people might call it something else. Jim McLean used to call it the corridor of success. Alright, if you can swing the club anywhere in that little cone or corridor, you have a pretty good chance of getting to the inside quadrant of the ball and swinging inside square to inside to hit a little draw. Okay. Notice one thing. Look how Stewart's elbow is pretty much straight down. All right. Now yours is, but look at that big giant gap right there. That's what we call deep hands. All right. really deep. And then look how far your spine angle, look how you've worked backwards. You've raised up a little bit. Okay, your hands are really deep right there. The club, the shaft is worked over the line. It's really open. Okay, and then look at your shoulders. Look how flat they are compared to Stewart's. He's pretty much almost at a 90-degree angle from where he started. Okay, that's huge. But the good part is though that you're really athletic. You need to get in the gym and get stronger, but you got a really good body for golf. There's no doubt about that. All right, you're going to see how Stewart's hands work right down into that slot. His elbow, because his elbow is in such a good position at the top, it never really gets away from his body. If you look right here, just pre-impact, the right forearm is right on what we call the elbow plane, and then it starts to straighten out a little bit, but the hips are moving. So the arms and the hips are really in conjunction, okay? And then the hips have to slow down just a little bit at some point, because those arms, that's where the speed's coming from. All right? So again, look at that line right here. I'm going to take a blue, see that little blue line? That's where he started. I mean, it's just, he works right around that spine angle. All right? So let's see what your hands do. Whoops. Lost all my lines. Okay, but no biggie. Let's go. Back to there. Alright, there's your slot. That's where your spine angle was. Okay, so you do a great job of getting that club on plane. But there's a lot of work going on to get there. Alright. Now notice how your hips stop and the arms just flash by. Okay, we got to get that more, or you really need to work on getting those together, and you will. As young as you are, you're fairly new to the game. You'll get that. See how your arms race by your lower body, and watch how Stewart's, and they do, but they stay in sync. Everything's a lot more in sync as he's turning. See how his arms stay closer to his body? And he's swinging more down the line as opposed to way inside out. I mean, you definitely want to swing inside out or inside square. To see how much rotation and flipping you have to do with your hands. Get that ball to turn over and come back toward the target. Okay. And lastly, alright, I'm going to take all these lines away again. Just really talk just real quick about what we call early extension. We'll put a line on Stewart's butt, put one on your butt. Draw that spine angle line again. Okay. And his butt comes, and again, I'm moving this camera around. But watch how, so you can see me, that's me moving the camera. Alright. He pretty much goes from cheek to cheek. He never loses his spine angle. And therefore his hips don't get in the way of his hands. Alright, I'm going to stop at P8 right here. And one of the reasons, main reason that your hands do fly out away from your body is because your hips are where your hands should be. Watch this. This is early extension. See that right there? See all this space from the line we drew to your butt? I mean, look at the difference in you and Stewart at P8. Okay, we can see a lot more of his back, his hands. I'll draw a line here. Look at his left arm. Look at your left arm. Okay, he's swinging on the circle. you're swinging on a line. It starts back here and goes kind of to right field. Okay, you were swinging on the circle until impact, and then you can swing back to the left, and you can't because your spine, that's the early extension of the spine. I just so wish I had your swing from last year, because I know it's much better. It's got to be. See if you can't do. I know you've got some video that maybe you and John used. Look at that. Your lower body's not even working. It's not even moving. You have your upper body and arms chase it. Stewart's just worked back to the left. Somebody to watch is Hunter Mahan, who really swings on the circle. Robert Appleby swings on the circle. You know, those guys like that are some that you really want to watch. But anyway, I just wanted to show this to you, man. And again, this is not me trying to give you a lesson. This is all new software for me, and I kind of wanted to try it out. And I saw you there yesterday, and just took the opportunity to just compare what we shot last year. But again, man, the kid that was with me, if you see him, you know, feel free to speak up, and you guys, you know, practice a little bit. He's kind of like my godson. He's just 13. He really just started playing last year, and he'll be going to Palatine. And he's played a lot of travel baseball. He played 90 games last year, so he's going to curtail that a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to send this to you. When you do get it, just reply that, hey, I got it. And you know, forward this on to Jonathan, because I don't have his email just yet. So anyway, if you have questions, give me a holler. Thanks, buddy. Good luck to you.